Right then, hello there, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you, yes, you, sitting there watching this, happen to be. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack, I'm the brains behind Knickknack's Old Peculiar, an incredibly boring, repetitive blog that really is not worth your time. I'll be putting a link to one post up there. It's not worth your time, and neither is the Daily Teaser, the quizzes I do every day, both here on YouTube and on the blog. Please feel free to subscribe to Knickknack's Old Peculiar and to my YouTube channel, Mr. Cuddy2977. You'll see the quizzes go past, you'll see the occasional movie review go past, and you'll see what happens when I watch TV shows that I think I should tell you about. I recently finished watching the third series of The Mandalorian, which is very good, I should say. Katie Sackhoff does a very regal job of work as Bo-Katan Kryze. Again, I'll try and put that in the corner there, you can see what you think. I'm also fiddling with a selfie ring light up there. Don't know if it's quite working. Let me know if you think it helps. Please do comment under this video. And I've also, on top of all of that lot, I've been watching the second series of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Last night was the 23rd of July, and I watched the 6th episode, Lost in Translation. It's really rather good. Lost in Translation, Episode 6, opens with the usual summary of earlier episodes and then shifts to show us Ensign Uhura, Celia Rose Gooding, recalling her personal log on Stardate 2394.8. The USS Enterprise, it seems, has been assigned to Bannon's Nebula. The nebula is a little bit special, as it's both a source of deuterium, which something Starfleet uses as fuel, and a stellar nursery, a birthplace of stars. Captain Pike gets poetic about its role as a stellar nursery before noticing his comms officer is looking ever so slightly sleepy. Something that causes the captain to remind her that she's only supposed to burn the candle at one end. It's only when the ship is refueling that the still sleepy Uhura receives a strange signal, one that she subsequently can't find a log of. A log, nor recordings, nor any evidence, which, after checking the communications section in the engine room, is what gets her heading to sickbay. There could be a very, very good chance that she's going ever so slightly mad. Now. What did I make of this episode of Lost in Translation? There is quite a lot I could be saying here. For one thing, I've never actually seen the Bill Murray film, Lost in Translation. It never appealed, and it doesn't have lots of aliens and tentacles. There is also a lot more I could be saying about this actual episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Let's get a couple of minor points out of the way. First off, Captain Pike is wearing a badge. Yes, I know, every single Enterprise crew member is wearing a badge. They're wearing the little Starfleet arrow on the chest. It's not a comm badge, as it would be in The Next Generation. It's just a fancy badge that tells you which department they're in. The captain's, however, is just a little bit fancier. It's a gold Starfleet arrow on a black circular background versus everybody else's, quite simple, arrow. Another detail, I should say, is the real-world theoretical device called the Bussard Collector, or Ramscoop. Like I say, it's an entirely theoretical device that lets an equally theoretical spaceship suck up hydrogen, or scoop up hydrogen as it's going forward, and turn it into fuel, a bit like a jet engine. It sucks air in at one end, heats it up and pushes it out the other end at very high temperatures. It's something that, in this episode, Ortegas activates so she can refuel the Enterprise. Granted, like I say, those are both minor details, but they're nice things to see. They're just nice bits of detailing. They're like the gilding on a model ship. It's only there for decoration, but it's a nice bit of decoration to see. With those said, the basic plot is not necessarily something we haven't seen before. Radically different alien energy beings are trying to communicate with the crew of the Enterprise, and they're doing unintentional damage along the way. The way the story is told is, to me, new and extremely watchable. The aliens are multi-dimensional creatures that can only interact with our universe by possessing deuterium atoms, hydrogen atoms, and trying to communicate by tapping into the language centers in Uhura's brain, driving her unfortunately bonkers as a result. To me, it's a novel way of telling a similar sort of story. Novel and well done and absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful. To be quite honest with you, it's gorgeous. As are, and it has to be said, the performances. Strange New World has quite an ensemble cast, much like The Next Generation, and the actors are all competent, capable, and that is something they show on screen every week, especially Ethan Peck usually, although with his family name, he's Gregory Peck's grandson, if you didn't know. With his family name, I expect him to do well, but he's part of a greater whole. It's a competent ensemble cast. Saying that, Paul Wesley returns this week as James T. Kirk, and he's doing a very, very good job. Yes, the character's womanizing streak is there, and there's a lot of smouldering looks between him and Lon Noonien Singh, for example, and a slap down from, bless her, Uhura. Can't see where I've seen that before. But this episode shows us that. Yes, of course it does. But also shows us what his leadership skills are like, his motivational skills. It's a very inspirational bit of work as he manages to encourage Uhura into solving her issues with help from him and his brother Sam, played by Dan Jeannotte. She solves her issues and the ship's with a lot of help from Captain Kirk, or Lieutenant Kirk as he is this week. The real star of the episode, though, is Celia Rose Gooding as Uhura, going all the way from tiredness to hysterics to panic to calm to solving a problem and back to tired again and mourning a very old friend at the same time. That is one hell of a performance, especially the scene where she confronts the other person who's been driven mad and says, I'm real. There's a lot of passion in there. There's also the scene where Lieutenant Kirk is doing his thing and literally talking her into trying to work on her problem. And it's just the way she delivers the line, do I look like I need a cookie, is just beautiful to watch. It really is. She puts her whole soul into that one line. It is quite simply one hell of a performance, and it's a performance that makes Lost in Translation one hell of an episode to watch. Have I enjoyed Lost in Translation? Will I be watching the next episode? I think you will find that I can say yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It's beautiful, from plot to performance to just generalised everythingness. It is really beautifully done stuff. And yes, I am going to be watching episode 7 next week. I'm going to be watching Those Old Scientists on Friday the 28th of July and reviewing it on Saturday the 29th. I would love it if you join me, because given how powerful Lost in Translation is, I want to see how well Those Old Scientists does in comparison. I will see you on the 29th. Take care, live long and prosper, and to quote Patrick McGowan, be seeing you.